Morning, team. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? How was your day yesterday? Hopefully you had a good day. The squeeze up, the melt up, it continues. All right, it continues. Just like we've talked about on stream, like I posted on socials, like I've warned you all, do not get lured into this whole the top is in, guess the top kind of form, all right? Squeezes can go and go and go and go until all the shorts are blown out and then all the FOMO buyers have chased in. And then once we get the blow off top, once we set it in, then we can think about attacking the backside of it. Right now, if we look at this daily chart, you can see there's absolutely nothing bearish about this chart. All right, there's nothing bearish about this chart. We are still in breakout territory. All right, we can afford to pull back to this level and find an RBS. We can in fact afford to pull back to here and protect it and sweep it and come inside. Okay, so don't be overly bearish. Don't get like sort of pulled in to all the bias, all the hype that you're starting to see on the socials. Don't do it. Protect yourself from that kind of stuff. Let me just make sure this stream's up. There we go. Okay, so on the daily, what do we have? We are still above the daily Bollinger Bands. It is incredibly aggressive here and not something you would normally see. This is an absolute rarity, what we're seeing right now. But like we talked about, we are in unprecedented times in this market. All right, so again, my rules state that I can't really be bullish above here. The risk factor, yes, I'm missing this drift higher. The risk factor up here is huge, buying above this Bollinger Band. But you can see how aggressive these bulls are now starting to open up, and the mean reversion will probably start to drift up like this with the 5-day supporting. So that's where we are on the daily. We're going to have to go down to the hourly for some more clues. Yet again, we are going to be gapping up slightly here by the looks of it, unless we go for a sell in the next 15 minutes. Let's get into the hourlies and go from there. Okay, you can see I've got an SVP on here just so that I can see some of the untested point of controls, because we're leaving quite a few behind now. So I've put an SVP on just because we haven't back tested anything. All right, very rare that I do this. Normally I just leave the weekly on. But given that we've got, this one from last week, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, all untested SVPs, all untested value areas, I've had to stick something on just to remind myself. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Well, we're still in consolidation. Okay, overnight, some healthy consolidation. So closing closing Tuesday, get your days right, Alex, right? We had a pin high there. I did actually fade this. All right, those in Discord will know that I faded that move there. I think I posted it on Twitter. All right, we did get, at the end of the day, some buyers trapped at the top, and we just played that downside move. I didn't get the whole of it. I think I got into 50s. So we got in around, I don't know, 220s down to 50s or something. What have we done overnight? Well, we've held, all right, we've held previous day value area high, expansion higher, new high made, expansion into the 300s, and we've pulled back and held previous day high, all right? Previous day high still being absorbed. So this level here is big. In fact, it's so big that it probably warrants being marked out. All right, and we're finding consolidation now in between the previous day high and the overnight high. All right, so volume being created up here in these highs at the moment. You can see this volume right here on the session. All right, so no acceptance above, or we might as well call it 300. It's 229s, but 290, sorry, but 300s, no acceptance above that. You can see wick above, fail, pushback in, fail. So that is value area high overnight, no acceptance above it. Value area low is the previous day high. All right, so this is your range rotation here this morning. All right, that's your range rotation. It is very, very, very possible, it doesn't have to happen, very possible that we stay within this range until we get to FOMC. Now, we do have some other news this morning. Let me just get this up. Obviously, we've had earnings come out this morning. What do we have? 10 o'clock, pending home sales, if they're going to drop that. I think they will have that note. That won't be, have to wait for the government to go back to work. So I think we will get that at 10 o'clock. Obviously, FOMC 2 o'clock, and then Powell will speak at 2:30. And then we've got earnings after hours as well, Mag 7 earnings. So expect those to be big. All right, so this is what we're looking for. All right, so I'm very aware. Range rotation, all right? If we're in a range, we're playing edge to edge, all right? If we get outside of the range, what's going to happen? Well, like we said, for me personally, I'm not looking to buy this market on breakouts of highs, all right? So if we do this move here, it can go without me. I'm going to try and stick to my rules. Unless it looks very, very obvious and clean, then I'd have to be very, very cautious, because what's the danger right now? A failed break, come back down to the other side, and a retest of previous day's value area low could very possibly happen. Same here, we can edge underneath, find a bid, come back to the overnight high. So I want to let this settle down at the open, ideally. Where does the bigger move happen today? Well, I'd say whatever time it happens, the big level is previous day's value area high. This is where we have a build-up of liquidity, all right, in here. If we let go of that, all right, especially if we do a move higher and fail, and we come back down to previous day value area high, bulls will need to have a bid up here. If they fail that bid up, all right, if we get stuck either here or they don't rotate, we get stuck under value, then the rotation back to the previous day's point of control is very, very possible, and value area low. They will then have a chance to come back in and save it again as bulls. Again, if they fail to do that, all right, we have not tested any value or any point of control, any value or any point of control, any of the gap, any value or any point of control. So if today, and it isn't if, folks, if today for some reason is a sell the news event and they either sell FOMC or they sell the earnings because they've already priced it in, these are your TPs for the downside move. Do not expect much beyond that, all right? Do not be expecting the whole world to collapse like I'm seeing people talk about on socials. Just zoom out. Think about the structure, all right? This can afford, if it wants to, a pullback to here and to find a bid and to continue that move higher. I am seeing people on socials call for an 80% failure right now. Off, okay? Get out, get away from those guys. It's awful people calling for that. Same people who've been calling for a collapse for 3 months now, all right? You will run out of capital if you follow people like that. Just play the chart in front of you. I cannot say it enough. You must play this chart in front of you. If this chart wants to move higher, if it's within your parameters to buy it, buy it. If the chart has started to collapse, sell it. Don't be thinking about this like, you know, the whole world's going to collapse scenario, all right? If that happens, it's going to be very obvious that it's going to happen, because we're going to start going halt and gap down, and there's absolutely nothing in this market to suggest that's going to happen right now, all right? Do we need a pullback? Absolutely. We do need a pullback. There's no doubt about it. All right, we're moving to the lower time frame above now into the 5 minute. You can see again overnight, we haven't liquidated anyone. This is becoming the story of the market at the moment. So we held previous day high. Asia drives up, holds this. Next pivot, London drives up, comes back, taps into this old pivot here, and we're looking good, aren't we? So previous day value area high, 2 here. Here's your rotation. That's what I'm watching right now. Simple as that. These are the 3 levels that I've been watching. So rotation in here, fail that, rotation in here, reclaim, rotation in here, reclaim, squeeze up or failure back down. Very, very simple. These are your rotations today. That's what I'd be looking for. Don't look beyond that until there is a clear failure. All right, don't look beyond that until there's a clear failure. Let's move up into the lower time frames. You can see the same stuff, and we're going to go through the other charts. Let's stick this on a 5 minute. ES looking exactly the same. All right, let's take that off there and pull that out. All right, so same kind of thing. Extended yesterday. All right, wasn't as strong yesterday because banking sector wasn't getting going, and Nvidia was the big driver. All right, most of the market yesterday, by the way, was red. All right, you take the Mag 7 out and you take Nvidia out of it, most of the Mag 7 was red. So just be aware of that. All right, so ES, same thing. It's come back down, held previous day's close, bid up, created a new high, pull back in, hasn't even needed to retest value, and is still holding. All right, so same kind of range. Previous day value area high to overnight high is your range in ES. All right, that's your range. If we let go of PDC and New York VWAP, maybe they come back down and test previous day low. Right, that's your range. Don't think beyond that range until it proves otherwise. It's the same story on the spiders, right? Even cleaner to see on the spiders. Pre-market high, PDC, pre-market low. Just play between this. If we reclaim this, maybe there's a squeeze. Failing here, rotation into these lows. Failing those lows, gap fill, and to previous day low, and an old gap down here. Same story across all the indexes right now. Frothy, absolutely. Backside, not yet. It's not proven to me that it's backside yet at all. We had a backside move yesterday, and it's been bid up. Okay, MAG, let's go. Starting to see a bit of a pullback after putting in a pin high pre-market. So Apple, all-time high pre-market, pulling back to PDC, closing its gap. All right. This is the liquidity. You want to see them hold this. If they fail to hold this, remember Apple's earnings are coming Thursday. It's very possible we come all the way back down there, all right, because this is frothy. But let's just see. We can trap underneath this liquidity. Think about this as just a range, right? Fail breakout of the high, coming back down to the other side of the range. If it fails breakout to the low, back inside the range, right? If we get failure under the low and a rejection, then we can think about that move to PDC, or sorry, it won't be PDC the day before, Monday close down here. And that's going to be a story across most of the market. Amazon finally getting going. Oh man, I wish I had some more size in this one. This is the one that's bugging me. I wanted to add into 200, but it's just gone without me. All right, so this is starting to really pick up into earnings now. This is what I was saying last week and earlier this week. This is lagging. Think about the rest of the market is all, breaking out up here. Amazon has this move in it. All right, it absolutely has this move in it. If it has good earnings, guess where we're going to go? All the way up into these. All right, so I am long in this. All right, just so you understand, I'm long in this. I think I'm in at like 180s, and then added some in the 200s. I wanted to add some more size, but let's see how we can go. But yes, Amazon's starting to get going. This is what I expected Amazon to do into earnings. They're going to price it in early and try and get that breakout. Goog, all right, Goog was frothy. No doubt about it. We're back to PDC. Goog, very frothy, a bit like the market. All right, think about a coffee. There's your coffee cup. This is the foam sitting on top. All right, we don't want to be buying this foam. It's froth. We want to be in the support area. So Goog breaking out, probably going to have a fail breakout and an inside bar here. That's going to be the story of most of the market. Do we create an inside bar or do we start filling gaps? That's what you want to look for. Or is there continuation higher? But yes, Goog yesterday kind of rang a few alarm bells for me if I was long in Goog, which I'm not. All right, straight sell. Pre-market, if we break this low from yesterday, it's got a little way to go to get back test. All right, think about this breakout. All right, even a 50% will be here, back test here. So I'd be watching Goog if it starts to let go of previous day lows for some weakness. Meta, same kind of story, but not quite as weak because it started to consolidate a bit better here. But again, earnings coming. That's your consolidation. Holding on okay. Opening up just above the gap right now, so positive move there in Meta. Microsoft, big old spike yesterday on that news, and midpoint of this, so kind of no man's land in between that spike news yesterday. We are gapping up, no edge in that, I would say. Zooming out, all right, you would want to see it take this out and continue higher. Failing to do that is that's a really bad look on Microsoft. If it can't get above that, that's kind of what Apple did for a few days in a row when I was long, came up, down, and eventually got the breakout. So let's see again, earnings coming. Nvidia's the big one. All right, here's Nvidia. It's just absolutely insane. Now trading at 208. All right, big gap up on Nvidia. The news came yesterday. All right, positive news in that speech yesterday. Pricing in, I think it was another 500 billion or something. And this is now, what, a $4.8 trillion stock, probably even more now, probably approaching $5 trillion stock now. Just on an absolute tear, all right, on an absolute tear. This is parabolic, absolutely no doubt about it, but it did come out of a base. This is the big difference. If we just zoom out, right, we went through this transition here for quite a while, all right, so all we're really doing is probably coming up to a fib. There you go. So 161. Next stop for a measured move will be 216s. Don't think beyond that, all right? If you're an investor on it, just hold on to your hat and see how far up you can go. If you're a trader, I wouldn't be buying up here. Very, very risky. Tesla, same thing. All-time highs yesterday. Amazing how things can turn, everyone's saying. It's the end. It's trying to approach these all-time highs, 488s. All right, remember down here, everyone calling for the end of Tesla. Oh, we hate Elon, blah, 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 blah. All right, don't get involved in that the same way you don't get involved in people picking tops. All right, trade the chart in front of you. When people were calling for the end of Tesla, all right, it was holding a very clear base. This was a cheap buy, and there you go. And now if it can complete this move, we get all-time highs. So Tesla looking good. It might need a pullback at some point. Again, most of the market feels the same. It's frothy territories, but this can last longer than you think. For transparency, I did sell a good chunk of my position in AMD yesterday. Can it keep going? Absolutely. But remember, I'm up over $110 a share here. I bought this at 158. And given the parabolic nature of this move, since I bought it down here, I thought I'd better lock some in. I can always re-add on dips. PayPal I'm holding. This is a big disappointment. All right, it's given everything back. That's the second time today, but still holding long term. See what we can do with that. And that's about it, folks. That is about it. Let's get back into the NQ. You should be prepared for this now. All right, we're thinking about those range rotations until it proves otherwise. Chart's looking very messy because we've got so many untested areas. Market did just open up, so I'm running a bit late here. Where are my flow zones? Come on, wakey, please. Trading view. This is not going to be useful if it can't get everything on here. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to do the good mornings either. Good morning, everybody. Trading view struggling here this morning to do anything. Let me just reload this. Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. Sorry, that was went on a bit longer. What are you guys saying in the polls? Have a quick look at this poll. There we go. Trading view waking up now. So most of you wanting to trade any setup that's good. Some of you are going to wait for FOMC. Don't blame either of those. The 9% of you who are going to gamble in full port, you're absolutely mental. We've got some psychopaths in chat. Some mental cases. Okay, let's have a look at the liquidity on the book. There is a big seller up here, 290s. That whole number 300 is not far away right now either. Not far away at all. Let's have a look at the mag. Tesla opening up 0.5% up. Nvidia over 4% up on the day already. Microsoft just over 0.25%. Meta 1/3%. Google 0.5%. Amazon 0.89% up. And Apple just gone red to green. AMD 3% up. So still holding on to a piece of AMD. Let's see if we can keep going on that. But yeah, given its parabolic nature, I had to lock something in. It was just getting ridiculous without pullback. And I'd be very upset if it needed to pull back to, I don't know, even the 220s, 230s and give back that much of my size on it. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to go through them all today. Good morning, good morning. It might be a shorter stream today because I do want to be here for FOMC, and obviously I'm on lunar duty this week like we talked about. One thing to talk about we didn't get to go through, the VIX. The VIX is still moving upside. It is not a good look to see that right now. VIX moving upside with the market moving upside with gold trying to reclaim. Not good. That is about as unhealthy a market as you will get. Light down a little bit. There we go. Okay, tapping into supply there, finding some sellers. Did we take out that? Yes, we did. All right, buy side getting trapped up there. 556 lot just got absolutely clobbered there into that passive seller who was up there. So we've definitely got positive delta up there. If they can't take out the highs, that guy's going to get trapped. So I'm going to make a note of him into 290. Was that his level? Yes, 290. So 556 exchange there at 290, 471 of that buy side on the market orders, so aggressive market orders. So I want to be aware of that. ES approaching previous day high, still not taking out its Globex. Spiders kind of flat into VWAP and previous day high here. Q's well above their VWAP, pushing into pre-market highs. VIX new high of day, breaking out a previous day high. Not a good look like we talked about. That's an absolutely terrible, terrible look to see that. You do not want to see market trading upside with VIX trading upside. It's high, high risk. One of them is going to get crushed. I don't know, Neo. You tell me. What do you like long here right now? You tell me, my friend. For me, not for me. Not for me. There's no setup here for me to think about taking long, even if it moves higher. I don't see a setup here that I particularly like. Yes, we're holding this like lower time frame RBS, but we're still in range rotation, like we talked about. This is our first range, and range number 2 would be down here. So I don't really want to be long the top side of that range, do I? So for me, no, but maybe for you, it's a yes. Maybe you like it. I don't know. I don't know what your strategy is. For me, we've got a huge amount of buying delta up here, currently pinned. I'm watching that New York Open as well. Meta starting to roll over a little bit here, folks. Meta starting to roll over a little bit. Still bidding in front of New York Open for now. ES holding New York Open, bidding up to previous day high. VIX still going, so very, very dangerous here to think about any long side. I'd watch this New York Open right now, see what they do with it, if they continue to absorb it. Remember, I think we just go into some range rotation today until it proves otherwise, waiting for FOMC. Right, they will be positioning themselves for FOMC, I would imagine. So not in a hurry for me. Okay, previous day high being hit here on ES, sorry. Yes, finding a bid off that New York VWAP and New York Open back to previous day high. So if it goes through here, it might go up to the Globex levels. All right, New York Open here. VIX still going like I talked about. So we're starting to see some failures underneath that New York Open here. And we might come back down to that 24-hour VWAP if they put in a lower high here. And then maybe I'd be watching to the edge of this range. It's a, sensitive areas here if they start letting go back down to this first range here, which is where we have found bids so far. That's why I say I would not be long up there in front of supply with trap buyers above with the VIX breaking out. That seems like a psychopath move to me. Meta rolling over and Tesla rolling over here. Here's 24-hour VWAP. Yes, not following suit, but I think it's soon to come with it. So you want to watch New York Open here and see if they reject that or not. A reclaim of that, they can squeeze straight back up to the highs because we're in rotation, right? We're just in rotation. That's all we're in, probably until we get into FOMC, unless something drastically changes. But the market gapping up again. This is what, day 4 or 5 of the gap? We had Friday to Monday gap, Monday to Tuesday gap, Tuesday to Wednesday gap. Yeah, so another gap, another one. What sort of setup am I looking for right now? I'm not looking for anything particularly. I mean, what are you looking for? like I talked about, this is range rotation, right? We're looking for range rotation. I'm not really looking for anything in here. There's no real edge in this market right now. Look, you tell me. You guys have been here long enough. You tell me. What are you looking for? What do you want to do here? Tell you what I want to do. Absolutely nothing. Right? You tell me. You guys are too eager to try and push buttons. One of you asking if it's a long up here. Some of you asking what to do here. Just sit still. Just sit still. See if it revisits one side of a range or not. And then see if there's a reaction. VIX still flying upside, yes. VIX flying upside and ES still trying to get back above its previous day high. Still above its New York Open. I mean, these are very, very dangerous signs, what you're seeing here, folks. I don't know if you quite understand what's going on here. VIX has been moving up for 2 days in a row now, off its lows, starting to reclaim key levels while the market is aggressively moving up. This is not a good sign, folks. Something will give. Hi Alex, I was long on GC at 3991.7. It's currently been ranging on the hourly for 3 hours. Do you think it will reverse and go higher? Currently 3K in profit. Let me have a look for you. We went over GC yesterday, didn't we, on the hourly? I would have locked in already, mate. Yeah, I would have locked in. This is the level we talked about yesterday. All right, anyone who was here yesterday. All right, here's your next leg down. What is the probability? It's to revisit here. All right, I would have locked in majority of my profit there because there's nothing to say it's going to reclaim this range. It can absolutely do a lower high here and start trending lower. All right. So your easy money was made long, like I would have said 950s. I don't know where, I'm trying to remember where you said you got long. Up into there. So I would have been locking in. I wouldn't be holding on looking for too much more. Anything, any acceptance in the range is a bonus. But structurally, right, think about structurally what you've done. Buyers are stuck in here. Failing under it. Retest, fail, retest, fail, retest, fail. New buyers are stuck in here. Failed under it. Fail, retest. We expect that to fail. All right. So you can lock in like 75, 80%, and then you can hold some in case it gets higher, move your stop up. But I wouldn't be holding this hoping for that move. If it happens, great, but there's absolutely no guarantee of it. Is it a 2-leg? Yeah. Can it go all the way back to highs? Maybe. Does it do it in this move? Probably not. Your easy money was into that. It was into that level. It's the exact play we talked about yesterday. Literally exactly the same play. Choppy PA until FOMC. Yeah, like most likely, yeah. Range rotation. Yes, clocks changed in London at the weekend. Clocks changed in London at the weekend. VIX still going here. So it's traded all the way up to 1669. I'm going to have to move out of here. All right, so it will be looking for a high now. Into 1683. So I'd say anywhere from 1670 to 1683. Through that, it has got a gap to fill. Start building out these levels as it starts drifting higher. Yeah, I think still going. And ES still holding up. Very dangerous market. Very dangerous market when we see that. You can just zoom out 5-minute or 15-minute and just ask yourself, what's happened this morning? Not a lot, right? We're inside, right? We're inside overnight range. No edge here, folks. No edge here. Just be patient. Try and teach you guys this every day. You have to be patient. Too many of you, I think, come to the charts. You know, it's been 13 minutes. Oh, I need to get a trade. right? That's how you lose. There's no setup here. There's absolutely no setup with edge here. All there is a bullish drift higher at the worst possible price ever in the history of the market to buy. Just think about that. We're drifting higher at the worst possible price ever in the history of the market to buy, all right? Because it's all-time highs. That's the worst price you can buy at, is an all-time high. It's like going and buying, I don't know, that watch you've been saving up for, all right? And you go in and you think you're going to get a good price on it, and they're like, no, sorry, mate. Today it's 10 grand. You got to pay 10 grand. And you just think if you waited 3 hours until 2 o'clock, maybe you'd only have to pay 4 grand for it, for example. All right, that's what we're in right now. Exuberance. All right, let's have a look at the mag. Tesla, just about flat. It's trying to gain a bid over closing the gap. Nvidia approaching 5% up. That's the one that's really tearing higher right now. That's dragging the whole market up with it. Nothing else really is yet catching a pid like Nvidia. Microsoft's down just over 0.25%. Meta's down 0.39%. Google's up 0.39%. Amazon's 0.21% up. Apple's now 0.5% up, or just under. But this is just the Nvidia story. This is the Nvidia party. This is the AI party right now. Right? This is, oh, let's all buy Nvidia at $210 a share. You lot are mental doing that, but they are going to do it. This is what's going to happen. What's the longest I've stayed out of the market? Probably 2 or 3 days. Normally after 2 days. If you get 2 days of inside bars, you're normally going to get either a breakout or a failed breakout after that. Morning, Scott. And here goes the VIX, all right, tearing some faces right now. So VIX continuing to rip some faces upside. This is literally the Nvidia party right now. Let's have a look. Nvidia on the side monitor. Just trying to build a flag at these highs. It is absolutely mental, but this is what we're in. We're in a one stock market right now. And you might be like, that's not big. Yeah, that is what you call parabolic, folks. All right, this is parabolic out of here. That is straight up. So it's just euphoria right now is what you're seeing. Absolute euphoria. There's no breadth in this market, really. I mean, there was breadth coming back, but it's just the market has been moving off the Mag 7 for, years now without many others catching up. It's starting to get to the point where it's moving off one stock. Right? It's starting to get to the point where it's all about Nvidia and nothing else, which is mental. Absolutely mental. If we go to FinViz right now, let's have a look at what the breadth is like this morning. Let's shrink this down a bit for you guys. No, you don't want to play then. Great. Come here. I don't know if I can make that smaller, but you can see here. Defensive down, industrials down, healthcare down, utilities pretty much flat, real estate down, basic material down, energy's looking okay. And financials down, tech down, but then you've got this, just an outlier. Biggest stock in the world, 4.28% up. It's actually 4.8% up right now, 4.80% up. So that is just dragging the market. It's literally a one-stock game. This is why I would be very, very, very cautious about playing this market right now, because when Nvidia is ready to say, all right, we're going to cool off for a minute, the market will cool off with it. So we got buying delta trapped up there again. The buying delta into that 290s is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's twice now up there. So we've got 682 lots buy side, 123 sell side stuck up there. If they get through that, they can re-squeeze and try and go for Globex, which is probably what they keep trying to do over and over and over again. But again, a one-stock market is not healthy. Yeah, Nasdaq internals terrible, but so are all the internals right now. They were getting better, but they will be skewed again after yesterday. So ES not taking out Globex, Spiders not taking out pre-market high. They just failed pre-market high, came right back into view up again. Nothing's really happening here, folks. We're still in this range. This is why you hear me saying all morning, just sit still. Yes, well, no, not really, DK. Like, if it reaches 1K, it's going to pull back before it gets there, right? So the question is, how much size can you afford to put on? Like, look at me. I was long AMD from 158. Do I think AMD is going to go to 300 and in the future 500 and above? Yeah, but I want to trade the swings in it. So I'm up $100 now. I'm up $110 a share. I sold a good chunk of my position yesterday. And when we come back down to earth, which we inevitably will do before January, all right, probably in the next few weeks, we'll come back down to earth. I will re-scoop some longs for that Santa Claus rally up into January, and then I'll sell some more. Because if you can trade the swings, or for you guys who watch me like this, if you can trade the swings, you will make more money. All right, yes, maybe you can put some in and invest and hold, but what happens if you buy 200 and we go on a horrible bear market crash and we go down to 100? Do you have the spuds to sit through it? That's what you've got to ask yourself as an investor. Nvidia hit 5 trillion. There you go, JD saying it. I mean, it's bonkers. Here's the drive. So here's the, well, it's not even 10 o'clock news. This is just shorts getting trapped. Back up to that 190s again. Did we just trap more delta there? No, he came in early. So big buyers coming in there. So 300 lot, and then another 300 lot. So that's a 600 buy order, came straight through there, trying to shove us up through that 290. I reckon it's all this one player. There's a player here at 290 who keeps getting stuck. He's looking to get this rotation here. He's stuck here, and he's probably just added more there. And at 290, we've got 710 market buys have been filled, and there's a passive seller there because we can't move above it. So if we've got 710 market buyers and we're not moving higher, that means there is a passive seller just sat right here selling inventory into every market order that's coming up. So there's definitely a passive seller up there. Doesn't mean we can't go higher, but there is a passive seller there for sure. Yeah, it's definitely not a short. It's not a short. It will be obvious when it's a short. I mean, there's been bearish divergence for a long time in this market. It's not a short, is it? The reason we're going up is because everyone keeps seeing, oh, there's bearish divergence and we're hitting this trend line and we're extended this and we're extended that. Hey, market, don't give two Fs about what anyone's saying right now. It's going to do what it wants to do. If people who are too aggressive and position themselves because they hope or think there's something there and they disobey market structure, well, how's that gone for them the last few months? Not very well, I would suggest. So just wait, guys. We're in a range, right? We have not even left a lower time frame overnight range to offer even a counter trend move down here, let alone a top. This is what I keep saying to everyone, like, please ignore all this bullshit you're going to see on socials. When we do these moves and we get frothy, everyone wants to be the famous guy that said, oh, I predicted the exact top. It's their favorite thing to do. Extremism gets views, whether it's left or right wing, whether it's this or that, whether it's a financial view. Extremism gets views. Sensibility doesn't get any clicks, right? Never gets any clicks. No one cares about a sensible trader who teaches you the right way. What they care about is someone who goes, oh, I predicted that. I predicted that. That's all they ever care about. Don't get drawn into it. Do not get drawn into it. Just play what's in front of you. At the moment, it's a bullish drift higher in a range. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. They're trying to approach these 300s. Overnight high is at 310. That's probably their first exit if they can get up there. ES is about to take that out now. VIX is still moving upside. Nvidia starting to pull back to the bottom side of a 5-minute range here where it has VWAP underneath. If they start failing that, there might be some downside pressure. If they scoop this up, they're going to go right back upside again. Microsoft now 0.5% down, Meta 0.25% down, rest of the market holding on okay. So Nvidia into the lower side of its range right now. Yeah, passive seller up there. There's been a passive seller reloading these 90s non-stop. That's why we haven't moved. So if you look at Bookmap right now, yeah. Okay, if you see right here in the 90s, this was all buy side, market buy side and passive sell side. So think about the market orders. They're not getting that move up to fill this guy. I think this one guy has had numerous attempts. Like he tempted here, on the way up, failed. Tempted again, failed. Tempted here, got through. Tempted again, he's trying again. He wants to get his exit through the 310s. This is aggressive buying, trying to move this market up to get his exit. This is a bit like last week. And you have to see what happens after he gets his exit. If he takes his exit, or is he just positioning very aggressively for FOMC? There you go. Seller's just like moved away. So it might be the same guy, but bidding it up, positioning himself as a big seller there, who's now going to lift the offer higher potentially, so he can sell higher because then they can't use it as a call wall. Let's move you back into the time frame. All right, so VIX right into the top of that range there, 1683s like we talked about. That's the top of an old supply block. If it gets through that, it can go 17s. Right now it's seeing a little bit of selling in front of it. ES did take out Globex. SPY not quite taken out pre-market high, so that's lagging slightly behind. And we've not taken out Globex yet either, which is up here. I could do Scott, yeah, like I guess, if you thought it'd be helpful. There's more aggressive buying coming in here, trying to force it up. There you go. There's the clear out of Globex now. All right, so what happens next is what's important. Do they keep running this higher? Nvidia, by the way, found the bid on the bottom side of its 5-minute range like we talked about. So it's going to come and try and retest all-time highs again, which are 1170s, or 1163 actually. So let's see. So Nvidia found a bid on the bottom of that 5-minute range. So it's done 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes in a range here, ranging between 209.66 with a high of 211.62, and it's trying to break out of it, which will be a giant, basically 25-minute bull flag, which means it can extend higher if it gets a continuation break. And like I said, there is nothing backside to fade, and there's nothing. I'm not buying up here. It can keep going all at once. This is day 3 of me saying, hey, I'm not going to buy it up here. I do not give to you know what's. All right, you might think, oh, you're missing out. I'm going to stick to my rules as long as I need to stick to my rules. It's not a backside move for me to fade, and I'm not buying up here. I refuse to buy above 2 standard deviations. We're approaching 3 standard deviations. Although that would have moved up now. It's probably more like 400s. In fact, let me just do a measurement of that. I can do it with you guys so you can understand. We can just do it simply like this. All right. From here to here is 1 standard deviation. And put the middle line in because that is to the Bollinger. And if we do another one, so 3 standard deviations would take us up to 618. And if we half this, 2.5 standard deviations, which is kind of where we stopped yesterday, will take us right to 88, basically. 380s will be 2.5 standard deviations. Remember, most of the time, the market will not find acceptance above 2. we are finding acceptance above 2. This is like COVID. All right, this is not on the spies, but like anyone who traded penny stocks, you would mean reverse. It would actually be 2 to 3, right? 3 SD, right? We would mean reverse anything above 3 standard deviations on a penny stock back to mean. And then COVID happened and we started going 5, 6, 7, 8 standard deviations. You would have seen those stocks that ran from like, I don't know, day 1 to 30. And then day 2, you'd look for that first red day, day 2 back inside, and it would go from 30 to 50. And then it would catch a T+2 scenario and it'd go from 50 to 100. And you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? And it was stimulus checks, just stimulating the market. And people just buying in exuberantly. Well, that's kind of what's happening in NQ at the moment. Here we go. So exuberance, and here's the next level. So that's selling out. There you go. He's moved up to 30s. All right. So you can see on Bookmap, he was down here at the 10s. He lifted so that there was no supply wall, and we're now up at 30s. So he's put a an offer out there at 630s. They're much above. The higher we go, the more violent the crash will be. If and when it's ready, if it is a sell the news event. And that doesn't have to be today. Everyone's so focused on today. We've got earnings coming at the bell today. We've got earnings tomorrow, next week. All you need, what would be amazing in my mind, which I just wonder, if we go Thursday, Friday, just rip, and then some bad news over the weekend, and we open up with a gap down on Monday. Whew. Imagine being a swing long caught in an island high. All right. Imagine something like we gap up here or something. We'll close the week up here. And then there's some like bad China news. And we open up down here. And you leave all these buyers trapped up there. Then we can think about the backside of the move. That would be fantastic. You know, markets stay solvent longer than you can stay liquid. That's why you don't fight trends, right? You just let them keep going. Sorry, trying to catch up in chat here. It would be superb, Alex. I'd love to switch to Bookmap because Quantal's heat map is shite. Okay, yeah, we can do a little something in that. No worries. I mean, I don't use all the fancy gadgets in it. I just use it basically for order flow. I'm just reading order flow. You don't have to use Bookmap. I mean, you could just use level 2 or order flow on whatever you're using. But yeah, I'm happy to look at something. Okay, so what you want to look for now is, do they find acceptance over Globex, over this sort of red box? Does that become demand, right? Does this pin high now become demand? So does this become blue? All right, if we retest it, do they find bids here or here for a continuation? If they fail under, right, that would be a look above and fail over Globex, and we'll move lower. So Nvidia did break out of that flag. It's starting to pull back to test its where it broke out from. So kind of funnily enough, NQ is doing exactly the same thing as Nvidia right now. Literally identical. Absolutely identical in terms of breaking out and coming back to retest. What happens next will be important. And Nvidia now 5.26% up. I don't know what that equates to in the amount of billions of dollars it's up, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Here's the retest of Globex, and if they let go of this, we trade sort of 90s and see if they hold on to that. And this, if they can't hold on to that, it will be a look above and fail, folks. All right. Look above and fail, and like we said, this might be their exit. Here you go. So this is going to be key now, how they operate. Let's get some volume on here, because I don't reckon we've pinned too much of those highs right now. All right, coming back down into this blue box. So do they find a bid here or not? That's literally your question you should be asking right now. Do they find a bid here or not? And if not, it'll be a look above and fail, and we will go deep. ES already visiting back to its view up right now. So I would be interested in a short if they start letting go, because now we've looked above and failed. So watching this into current day value, and I want to see if we get aggressive here. We have left that liquidity up higher. So here's value area high on the session here. This is where they will need to step in, and if they don't step in, we are going to start washing. I want to see if ES can join under VWAP as well. Looking better now for a look above and fail. So here's a retest of value. Here's VWAP. If we start putting in lower highs and lower lows or straight dump, right? So if we start putting in some of this structure here, we're going to play rotation lower. This is why we're patient, folks. All right. Here we go. So that buyer took his exit. He absolutely took his exit. Look at the tape. Look how aggressive selling is now. Remember, 90s was where he had all his size. All right. He was bidding at 90s. Remember when we were bidding at 90s, said we need to make note of that. We have huge delta offside at 90s. We've just traded under it. I want to see if they sort of reject 90s now. They might need a drift up to 300, that whole number, and then see how we operate. ES still above VWAP, by the way. NVIDIA coming back down to the bottom side of that 5-minute range. If it lets go of that range and VWAP, we move lower. I want to get some size on here if possible. Watching that New York Open as well as a potential cover point. Also watching POC currently on the session at 75s as an over-under. Where's my anchor? There you are. All right, we're into anchor here. So giving this a chance, see if we form a lower high here to attack or not. Hopefully this makes sense for you all right? Where was the exit? Above Globex, right? Funny that. He exited above Globex. He bid and bid and bid and bid and bid and got his exit here. We're pulling back now. The question is, do we go lower high, lower low now? If they go straight wash, it's going to be really annoying. Really annoying. I'm not going to be able to get too much size on if we go straight wash. ES back to PDH. Look at the VIX, by the way, folks. All right. Just look at the VIX. That's what I'm saying. I will not bid on the market when the VIX is doing this. It is psychopath. Absolute psychopath doing that. All right. This market should not be moving up when the VIX is doing that. It is a one-stock move. So watching here to see if they go lower, form a lower high, and to see how we act. So here's current day value. Maybe a drift into 300 and see what they do. ES still holding VWAP. Spider's still holding previous day high. I want to play short now in this market if possible, if it gives me the opportunity. If it sets up, only if it sets up. That was a nice rejection of value there. I'd like to see a spike through it, to be honest. We reprice, but let's see. Leaning on this. And let's see if we can set lower high, lower low. I'm watching NVIDIA down to the bottom of this 5-minute range. This is where it's found a bid all morning, where we're drifting into now on NVIDIA. If it lets go of this and let's go of VWAP and we go down to current day low, we're going to get big old wash in this market. Pull the level 2 indicator running alongside. Yeah, exactly. If you can read that, you can read the level 2, read the DOM, that's more than enough. Right? If you can read the tape, very nice here. I haven't got too much size on this, unfortunately. That rejection of value was all I got, and it was a small piece. Come on. Current POC, if they let go of this, where's NVIDIA? NVIDIA back down to VWAP, new low out of this 5-minute formation. Would love some more size on here. Watching NVIDIA into VWAP. Here comes the sell. All right, cover point coming here. Take a little piece off here into New York Open. So here was your lower high. It's all it offered, unfortunately. I would have liked a bit more structure and a bit more size. Covering some here in front of this New York Open and value. And then we'll just see how we formulate here. Did I miss? Did someone pass something? Passed your first eval. Nice work, Latif. All right, so still in this short, covered some, want a bit more structure. Watching NVIDIA starting to absorb off that VWAP here on NVIDIA and off the 5-minute flow zones, back inside its 5-minute range. If it starts letting go, we'll get a deeper wash. We didn't form too much structure here on NQ, unfortunately. ES holding current VWAP, 24-hour VWAP, and New York Open as well. So using these New York Opens of over-unders, we are into point of control on the session right here. If we drift under this, all right, then possible revisit down here. All right, if we start letting go of these, let me draw it out. If we start letting go of these, then possible revisit down here. If we break this trend line, starting to go backside on a lower time frame. I would have loved a bit more structure here, so I haven't got too much size on covering into this. But if we can offer something like this, great. Any reclaim of up here, I'm not interested. But so far looks good. And again, one eye on NVIDIA because it's bidding off VWAP right now. So there's the move back up. Let's see if they form structure here. If they go complete reclaim, then again, not interested. It would just be a small scalp. So those 305s. Another strong rejection there so far. You almost want to drift through it to be sold into. Market's starting to rotate. All right, Amazon now 0.25% down. Meta 0.67% down. Microsoft 0.80% down. Oracle down on the day. NVIDIA at VWAP. All right, so NVIDIA's high of day was 212.16. We're currently trading 209.56. If it lets go of that, you might see some more profit taking here. And we don't expect too much. We're just in range rotation. It's before FOMC. We're not expecting this huge collapse that everyone's talking about. We've already locked in some profits here on that drift down towards value area low on the session and New York Open. All right, just be smart. If you're playing this with me, you be smart. If you want to sit in your hands, you're welcome to do that as well. Retesting this opening range now. So we've had a look above Globex and fail. VIX still pushing, so coming into its next supply level of 17. We talked about this, rewind the tape. We've already talked about this. I did not want to get long in the market at all-time highs with VIX breaking out. It is a psychopath move. VIX about to tap into that first part of supply. It's 1 cent short. Once it gets through that, if it doesn't react here at 17s, it can keep going to 17.19. If it gets through there, the next step is 17.40s. It's a straight up move, right? Since the open on a 5-minute chart, VIX has gone straight up. Here we go. Beautiful. So more liquid. Bang! There we go. Right, there's another cover. Let's see if we can get some follow through now. Beautiful. Into VWAP and that New York Open. Lovely trade there. So we got 90s to 60s, so 30 odd points. And now we see if there's any follow through downside. So just trading inside range, right? Range rotation. We're inside the red and blue box. So this can go back to red now, right? We look above and fail above that, really. All right. And if we get lucky, we get down into here. If we get really lucky, it starts to let go and we get a deeper rotation. But we're just playing edge to edge. Here's your value on the day. This is all we're playing. From this to this. We don't expect anything beyond that. Do what the chart is showing you, not what you hope. What instrument should one use to hedge our long or swing accounts? You mean what do you want to go to hedge against long-term swings in the stock market? Oh, tricky right now, mate, because your hedges are all going the same way. All your hedges are going the same way. You've got Dixie going up. You've got gold going up. You've got Qs going up. You've got you've got your bonds going up. I don't know anymore. We're kind of disjointed. Okay, back into this area here. How we act here is going to be key. If they form that lower high for a deeper move, or do they just go straight reclaim? Again, we are still finding a bid on that pre-market high so far on Nvidia. So it drifted under VWAP into pre-market high. Why is this VWAP not working properly? I feel like I say it every week. Whoever's coding TradingView at the moment is piss poor. Piss poor. All right, drifting back into these 300s. Remember, we've got liquidity up here at 325. He's still trying to get filled. He has moved down a bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he lifts his offer if we get up there again as the range rotation continues. So we locked in down here. We're runners only, and if we start squeezing through here, I'll just cut that runner. So testing these 300s. Like we talked about, are we going to get a follow through? We need to collapse these VWAPs, which we're not seeing so far. VWAP's trading sideways right now. We're above New York Open, above VWAP, above point of control. Everything's still okay, but we're still short in a runner, looking to see if we bleed and create, if this is the good lower high, 1, 2, and we fail, right? But I've got to be somewhat cautious on this. Watching Nvidia, I need to see Nvidia let go, really, for me to have great confidence in anything else. So currently short at 94s is where I'm short at the moment. Already locked in, remember, locked most in. So just a small position left at 94s. If we start firming up, here and letting go, I'll think about what's next. But if we reclaim this, I'm not interested. Think about a 5 minute. All right, not interested above this because there's nothing really for us to look at. So it needs to sell against this, otherwise we just cut this position and just take the 30 odd points it offered us. So they're starting to find a bid here on Nvidia, reclaiming 5 minute flow zones, trading into those 10s again. VIX getting stuck at those 17s. So rejected 17s. We talked about that. So the edge of supply on the VIX is 17s. You go to like 15-minute chart, you can see it really clearly. I can show you. If we go to the VIX, right, it's no different to marking out anything else. You won't see it on this, but on here, there you go. The gap's been filled. Here's what we've just traded into. All right, it's been efficient. It's filled its gap. It might pull back now. It can afford to pull back to 84s, and if it fails that, 54s. All right, if we get through that, the next level would be here. 37s. Ignore all these boxes. I don't know why they're this color on here on my side monitor. They're completely different. TradingView not linking these for some reason. But you mark them out exactly the same way. So far, this is a look above and failed, but we can hold this print here if it really wants. I would love to see a rotation down into previous day high. 1, 2, look above fail would be really nice. All right, I know that 90s was that big level where that buyer kept coming in here. All right, so if we do something like this here, and if we get lucky, we offer a re-add for that gap fill if it really wants to do it. But it's going to need a big move on Nvidia to do that, and we're not seeing that right now. Wouldn't normally be so focused in on one stock on a side monitor, but given it is what's doing the damage in the market right now, I have to pay it some attention. New York Open here on ES. I want to see weakness come into this market. Nvidia is starting to like really get going to the upside here, interestingly. So we're starting to diverge a little bit. Does Nvidia get slapped into these 1050s, or does it just reclaim it all? Move my stop now into the money. Not willing for this. It shouldn't need to make another push up into this area. If it comes up here, I'm out. I'm not looking to hold on to it. This seller's getting annoyed. He's not getting filled, so he's moved into 300s now. So 300s and 325s. ES under New York Open, back to VWAP. Range rotation continuing. We're not getting a move under current value yet. All right, we're still above the New York Open. We're not under current value yet. We're still in a range here in the session. We definitely have a look above and fail so far. We need to make a lower low. Remember, this is your lower high. Here's your look above and fail. This can be a lower high. This must get a lower low for confirmation of the move down, all right, for the trend. Otherwise, this can be consolidation and they can reprint, all right? So I'm not willing to risk up here anymore. It shouldn't need to come up here. It's done it, all right? We've poked in, poked in, poked in. Trap buys. It shouldn't need to come up there. It comes up there again. I'm not interested in the move. It's just going to chop more. Grabbing a coffee, I got out at the current day value area low. Yeah, that's where I covered most of my position as well. Exactly the same. So drift up towards those 300s again. There's that passive seller sat there with a 300 lot. ES right at its view up and New York Open here. If Nvidia lets go, this is going to be fun. If Nvidia just goes into this sideways move, it's going to be a bit hard to get much action here. Yeah, holding bids here. I'm on NVDA. Now holding bids. So this seller moved down again. He's getting annoyed. He's just under 300 now. See if he lifts when it drifts into him here. He just left it and let it through to 25. I wonder. Yeah, he just lifted out of the way. What a joke. All right, big buyer came in there. Look at that size, 450 buy side. Did we take out that swing high, 300? Maybe by a tick? Did we take it by a tick? Or equal highs? Take it by a tick. Waiting now. Waiting to see what we do. Waiting. So flat on this now. Can always enter back in if it really wants to do the move, but I'm not going to be overly biased. I know we're just in range rotation. And the edge where those buyers got trapped is probably more like 306. So I'm just drawing it on NinjaTrader. There we go. Okay, so back to opening range. Value area high on session. Lots of buyers came flying in here. ES back to PDH. Reclaiming view up. Nvidia trying to reclaim its range. The chop fest continues, and it will probably continue till 2 o'clock, like we talked about. Probably will. VIX finally seeing a sliver of red. I mean, it's just a pullback off the 17s, mate. I wouldn't see it as anything more than that right now. It's just a tiny pullback off 17s. It's sitting at 1693. Remember, we opened the day at the low 16s. This thing's flying high. I'm still short biased on this market right here. If we start breaking down here, we get re-entry. All right. Until we reclaim this, buyers are trapped up here. What do we have right now? Buyers are trapped up here. The big buyer was 90. He got his exit here. All right. As long as we protect this, I'd be thinking about this. They will need continuation under here to here. That's where I think at the moment. This is still supply up here. This is a failed look above. But again, we took the trade from here to here. I'm waiting now. Tried to give this a chance. Not going to bid on this. Not going to sell it yet. Just trying to give it a chance to build out. We're not getting above the 50% of leg to leg. Maybe it wants to have one little attempt into the 302s or something. And we can see. Trump and Xi meeting at 11. Are you joking? This guy knows how to fuck up a market, doesn't he? Like, he really knows what days to fuck up a market. All tariffs are cancelled. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? All right, I'm getting, let me get, PayPal's just pissing me off at this point. Do I cut it? I'm up on it. Okay, we found a bid. That is just gross on PayPal. Giving back $10 a share by not selling in that earnings. It's so weak that it can't get going. It should have really broken out of 80s and gone. Danger is if we go risk off in the market and I'm holding something that's weak, I'm going to get clapped in it. So I want to move my stop up a bit on PayPal, I think. I haven't had a red trade this year in the swings, I don't think. So, oh, actually, that's a lie. What did I take a red trade in? Oh, no, I didn't, because I sold BBAI. Okay, starting to see maybe this breakdown coming, folks. Here we go. VIX still pushing. There we go. VIX still pushing. We need to see follow through. We need to let go of point of control here. We don't want to really be playing in this area of the highest volume in the session right now. If we get follow through underneath the New York Open and 24-hour VWAP, we can have some fun. But I don't really want to be playing in this area that we're in right now. And the range is awful when you think about value on the day. 93 to basically 70. 20 points. Oh, we're back in these 20-point range rotations again. Oh, tomorrow. Okay, good. Well, that's all right. I was going to say, to do that on today with FOMC would be a nightmare. VIX still holding here. It looks like it wants to shove up. I think this market is very dangerous right now. This just feels like, I hate to say it, retail idiots just bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding. But it's been that case since April, right? Most of the move has been retail. We can keep moving higher for a long, long time if it wants. All right, back to these 92s again. Opening range again. Nvidia still above its VWAP. No edge in this. Like I said, flat. We had that one trade down. No follow through. We can always reposition ourselves if it sets up. But right now we're protecting POC on the day. Look at the VWAPs. They're flat. Everything's flattened out. We're in a tight range of value on the day. VWAPs are flat. They're pointing sideways. The flow zones are flat. They are pointing sideways. There's no edge in this at the moment. We just sit still, folks. we just sit still. Let's get these likes up, team. Let's get these likes up, please. Start getting the habit. Smash that like button nice and early. If you want to help me grow this stream, it will help me nudge prop firms to be able to give you guys more free accounts. So if you want to share this stream with mates and stuff, it would be in your benefit. If you feel like you enjoy this and you're learning something, it gives me data to go back to the prop firm to be like, hey, this is how many users I've got. They're active, they're on here, they're trading your accounts. Can I have some more free accounts to give them, please? Can we do some special discount code one day, maybe? Oh, what a bore. What a bore. I probably will give it another half an hour, team. I'm probably going to get off early today because I can't see anything happening before FOMC. And I want to be here for FOMC at my desk, not rushing back, trying to walk my dog. So we'll give it 30 minutes. If no move in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to get off early and just wait for Fed. Okay, initial balance now set. We're bang in the middle of that initial balance. So again, no edge here. Sure. IB low is down here at 50s. IB high up here at 20s. We're probably pretty much in the middle of it. Pretty much in the middle of the IB. Amazon trying to go red to green. Meta trying to find a bid. Microsoft still in a sell. Tesla only 0.25% up. Nvidia back into its 5-minute range. And we are just in a 20-point rotation. Fun. IB today, 71 points. That's all you've got. So your high to low of New York is 71 points today. That's all you're playing with here, folks. Do not overforce yourself into this like we've talked about. Lower the expectations. Lower your expectations. Failing 300 again there. Look at this guy lifting, this fraud, absolute fraud on the book. This is the buyer, keeps putting offers up there and then lifting. It's gross. You got a spoofer on the tape. He's been here all morning. 3 times he's lifted at 300. Now he's moved up to 310. Let's see if he lifts up there as well. He probably wants that exit at 325. It's probably the same player. And he's trying to use his liquidity to get up there. This H1 looks pretty bullish so far, I must say. Yes, back to view up and New York open again. Let's check the breadth out. It does not look good out there. Financials red, healthcare red, communications red, consumers red, consumer defense red, industrials kind of flat, BA red on there, real estate red, utilities red, energies green, basic materials red. Yeah, it's pretty much a red board outside of Nvidia, AVGO, AMD, MU. Basically, it's chips or nothing, and Palantir. In fairness, Palantir's running. But this is the semiconductor market. It's the AI boom, and nothing else matters right now. We just we only care about AI. Honestly, it reminds me so much of COVID. I don't know how many of you were trading in COVID, but if you remember in COVID, during COVID, it was like everyone had to say, I've got a vaccine, all right, or I'm working on a vaccine. And they like ran you know, multiple tens, hundreds, thousands of percents. And then after that, it was like, oh, we're working on crypto. Everyone just put crypto in every press release. And then they started running. And then after that, everyone was like, oh, we've got an NFT. And then they started running. It just feels like that now. Oh, AI. We just mentioned AI. Oh, AI. Yeah, AI. Yeah. AI. Yeah, quantum. Yeah. Sorry, what do you do? I'm a farmer, but I'm working in AI. I'm doing AI farming. Got AI tractors now. I'm firing all the farmers. Yeah. We've got AI robots. They're going to go milk the cows. Yeah, up 1,000,000%. You can see it already. It's starting. The froth. Oh gosh. It's like yesterday. It is like yesterday. NQ just stupid strong off Nvidia. Nvidia now 211s. Right, that low move underneath the 5 minute was absorbed underneath VWAP on that pre-market high. Complete absorption on pre-market high. All right, complete absorption down there. 209s. We're already back at 211s, approaching initial balance high. So we'll be watching that high of day on Nvidia now in case they break out through it. They break out through it, you know what NQ is going to do. Yes, Nvidia is the first $5 trillion company. That's correct. Look at this spoofer on the tape. He's still here. Just lifted more. Now trying to get filled at 13s. Look at this. This is naughty. Lift. Where does he actually want to get filled, I wonder? Probably the 25, which has been pretty steady. He wanted 30s, didn't get it. He's moved down to 25s. Look at this size. Just it's been like this last week. Like the sum of this size coming in on the buy side is scary big. Scary big. Back to Globex. Back to Globex. ES still just trapped between New York Open and previous day high. Very tight range really on ES. 44s to 42. You're like basically 2 points of range. Really, no acceptance above or below that at the moment for like, I don't know, for a little while. Like the last 30 minutes or so. See if this guy lifts at 15. 474 lot there. Remember, we're above those 90s. Those 90s or 92s is where that big buy delta was. Big buy delta there into 90s. Under that, sellers can take control potentially. But over that, that buy is sitting comfortable. And he's got some serious size in the book. Like just market size, almost 1,000. So he's probably well over 1,000 lot long. He did get some of his exit into the high of day, for sure. Again, VIX still holding highs. Like, there's just no way I'm longing this. Just no way. This thing can squeeze as many days as it wants without me. I could not give two, you know what's like, just no way I'm longing at all-time highs at 2.5 standard deviations on a daily. I mean, we haven't had a weekly back test of value or the 20-day in forever. In fact, let's have a look. Weekly. Yeah, so long. One sec, folks. Moving average. Just want to see where the weekly 20 is. Oh, that was the 200. I need the 20. Yeah, weekly 20s, 23. 23,880. The top of that first bit of a shelf. No back test of the last time we back tested or even came to that weekly 20 was in May. We're so far away from it, percentage wise. We're 10% away from it right now. 2,364 points away from a weekly mean. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. Two bollocks. Can give two bollocks. Two flying somethings. Market being a wally. It is being a wally. It's just it's a very exuberant market. Just think about this market. Like, take a sentiment check on your favorite social media. You're going to see two sides of the extreme. You're going to see people calling for, oh, it's the all-time high. The high's in. I told you the high was in 3 months ago, last week, yesterday, blah, blah, blah. All right. You got these guys just constantly shorting, getting blown out. And then you got the other side going, this isn't an AI boom. We've got a long way to go. Look at the 90s. Look how much further we can go for a squeeze up. We can go way, way, way further up, blah, 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 blah. All right. Here's the drift back down now. So getting stuck at that supply. I am going to focus in if we start failing, but we're not failing yet. We are not failing yet. See if we come back down to VWAP. We're still just in the edge of this like volume area. We didn't even sweep the internals here. So yeah, sorry, back to social. So you've got two sides of it. Exuberant buying high, and shorts trying to short the high. We're going to keep going up all the time. These fuckwits, which is what I'm going to call them, keep being obsessed with being a hero. We're going to keep going up, right? When does the best short happen? It doesn't happen in a crowded market, all right? The collapse does not happen in a crowded market. It happens when everyone's given up. It doesn't happen when everyone's going, oh, we're in an AI boom. We're in an AI boom. We're in an AI bubble. We're in an AI bubble. It's just a bubble. It's going to be a short. It's a bubble. Now, I'll tell you when it happens. It happens when those guys start going, maybe I was wrong and it's not a bubble. And then they go long, and then you go, game over, right? That's when it happens. It's exactly the same as a small cap. It's exactly the same. There's no difference. All right. Watching NVIDIA over under 210s here. All right, so it's just made a lower high. It's wedged in. I'm watching to see how it operates into these 210s. It's trading 210s, 50s. Look at this big seller came in. Did he get filled? No. He's moved down now. He's getting very, very upset. He didn't get filled at 25s. Now he's moved. He's got over 1,000 lot now stacked into 10s and 15s as we start to move back towards these VWAPs now. All right, interested here because ES is starting to let go. Do we get aggressive here? Here's VWAP. Where's POC? Watching these levels. Watching these levels, folks. So this could have been a multi-leg up and still create a lower high versus today. 1, 2, 3. I want to see how we operate on the backside if we give it all this move down to here, and if we got very lucky it would be down to there, but probably that will come later today. All right, here's POC. Okay. ES looking better. All right, can we start to get aggressive here? Watching this selling. I don't want to join the lows here because they've been absorbing down here all day. But if we start to get a break, I'm interested. There's a thick area down here on the volume. We get thinner as we start getting under the 60s. We get thinner under the 60s. Yeah, ES set up that really nice, to be honest. It was a really nice look. Nvidia back to VWAP. So just watching here carefully. Like I said, watching Nvidia at 210s under over. It was at 210.50 when I said it. It's at 210s now. So watching this 50s under over. Here we go. Here we go. Give me a bit. Give me a bit. Give me a bit. Give me a bit. Come on. Come on. If I'm looking here, it's just because I'm looking at the book and at Nvidia. I want to see the next pop-up get sold into. I don't want to see a full reclaim here. I want to see the next pop-up sold into so I can get involved. Give me a bit to get involved in, please, market. And if not, then I'm going to have to think about an ad underneath the New York Open, probably. ES into initial balance low. ES is being a beautiful player today. Look above and fail, lower high, right shoulder created. You're into neckline here. If you fail here, all right, if you fail under initial balance, you can look for a move to 31s, and then a gap fill will take you into 26s. All right, so you've got room on the ES if it fails underneath its initial balance low. It's trading, so ES is trading right down here at IB low right now. I think Nvidia needs to make a little pop and a sell here through VWAP. Needs a little pop above and a sell here at VWAP if I'm going to be interested. VIX looks like it's starting to create a flag, and we are still protecting POC here, so still not adding here. I want to see if this seller walks down now. Still waiting. I want to be involved in this if we're going to do it, but I'm just concerned that ES has done it already. Look at that reaction. Okay, look at this seller. Moved right the way down to 95. So he's here at 95. Let's see if he's legit or he pulls again. If he's playing the same games as he has done all morning. $95s is where he's at. We're at VWAP right now. We're back into that big volume shelf here. No acceptance underneath value yet. That's a good rejection. Still didn't fill him. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Here we go, folks. 24-hour VWAP. If we let go of this and New York, it gets nasty. Right into the edge here. We get thin under this. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming. Why can't I? There we go. Nvidia now under those levels that we talked about. So Nvidia wick low is 09. So we're trading down into that at the moment. It looks good. It looks good here. We're going to get this breakdown if they let go of this shelf at the lows. This seller's walking down. He wants to be filled. Passive seller wants to be filled. He's getting upset now. I just want to be careful if he lifts his offer if we come into him. If he's playing games and he's actually a buyer and he lifts his offer, I want to be careful. Right into value on the day. If we snap value on the day, I'm looking for this trade down into IB. If we fail IB, I'm looking for previous day high. If we fail that, I'm looking for gap fill. That's asking a lot. That would be runners unless we rebuild some form of liquidity to do it. But that's what I'm looking at. I'm just trying to make it clear for you. It's not giving me the chance to put much size on yet, and it's not confirmed anything. They're still trying to protect these 70s. They know they get thin under here. What was that last week? Yeah, under 65s, much thinner. Under 60s, way, way thinner. ES still protecting initial balance. Come on, Nvidia, come down back down to that lower at 9s. So let go VWAP perfectly. Is there any profit taking before FOMC? Come on. And we want to do it in the next 10 minutes. Don't want to wait for the next hour. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're so close to letting go. You are so close to letting go right now. Here's New York Open and VWAP. This is the shelf. This is where it's going to get key and critical for them. So NVIDIA into that pivot that we just talked about, 09s. If it finds a bid here, what's interesting now is if they sell. All right, so if they bid up and then sell into this on NVIDIA, make a new low, we go low of day. On NVIDIA, we will drag the market down. If they trap underneath this, market can go straight back into its current range. Remember, we've not found acceptance outside of the range yet. Range is here. It's marked out on the chart in front of you. We are not finding acceptance under this. If we find acceptance under this, we attack low of day. NVIDIA's right into this level. Come on, just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. It would be so fun. It will be so fun. Here's the New York Open. Can we get acceptance under it and go for IB? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here's New York Open. Come on, come on, come on. Come to Papa. Come on, ES. Play ball with me. Play ball with me. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Watching IB for next TP. Why do I always need the bathroom as soon as I'm in a trade? No, they're not, Paul. All right, let's go, baby. Patience, eh? Patience. How patient were we today? Took 2 attempts today. Oh! Previous day high, next target. Previous day high, next target. That's it. Range rotation. All right, previous day high, next target. We don't want acceptance back above VWAP or really the New York Open at this point. All right. Remember, this is still technically counter trend. We're still technically in range rotation. Do not expect too much. If we get a flush beyond this, fantastic. But we do not expect too much. Okay, we're in range rotation. This is the edge of the range. We talked about this in the pre-market show. Range to range. If we get acceptance under this, we can think about this next level. All right. But until then, be proactive. This is not a pro trend short. It's a look above and fail with a lower high set and a breakdown underneath value. We take profits. All right. You take profits on the way. Take profits on the way. Be careful here. If we go reclaim, this can go squeezy back up to POC. All right. I'm going to move this and proactive, and I'm going to use the bathroom now. Nice work, team. Nice work. W's in chat if you caught that with me. Okay. What's this seller doing? 95s now. All right, he's at 95s now. Oh, lots of you got it. Who got it with me? Peter got it. Mo got it. Bart, Troy, Chris, Leron, Joanne, Uli, Garber, BU, FC Mike, Foster Scott, Ken, Miguel, Min, Pooley, Christy, Contorted. Nice work, team. See how important it is to not have too high expectations in range rotation, all right? All right, we got the break we wanted. Is exactly what we wanted. I didn't want to be bullish in here today. We talked about, go back to the very, 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 very beginning of today at like 9:15. We talk about maybe a failed or a look above and this kind of rotation in here taking place. All right, this is very, very high probability to happen. If we get under here, we either get this or we get this back inside. And it really depends what they want to do before FOMC. I would not think that we're going to get a giant move before FOMC. There's no reason for them to do that. Unless they're like, you know, if they get wind of a shock result, you know, remember we've priced in 98% chance of a price cut, of a rate cut. We've priced it in already. If we get a shock result, maybe. If Jerome's like, do you know what? F you, Trump, you're getting rid of me. Here's my parting gift. then maybe, right? Nice, capped. Christy got it. Contorted got it. Gregor got it. LJ, Psychosis, Red Don, Ejecto, Gino, NRS, Moni. Really nice, guys. Really, really, really nice. That's all we expect. All right. And we can look at this, you know, here. Here's what I said to my team this morning. All right. Here's the range rotation. There's the look above and fail. And this is if we get acceptance below value. That's all we're doing. There's the range rotation. There's the look above and fail. We've had no acceptance below value. All right, we're holding range rotation. That's all we're doing right now. Plenty of time left, folks. Plenty of time left. This was all planned out pre-market. I don't know if the video went live yesterday or it's today, a little short, on the importance of having a plan when you come to the market. You've got to have a plan that you're sticking to. Must have a plan that you're sticking to. Otherwise, you're in danger of just, you know, trying all sorts, right? If you're the type of person that's flipping long, flipping short, flipping long, flipping short because you're getting stopped out and you're not trading an actual plan, that's why. Financials getting wrecked today. Well, they've got a lot of bad debt. They've got bad debt. Remember, it was only a week ago that, you know, we started seeing cracks in the banks, but we ignored it. There is a lot of bad debt being packaged up. It is 2008 type things all over again. Honestly, it's not a good look. I've talked about it in the newsletter about 4 weeks ago. We talked about it was the first time we saw an increase in terms of user side, consumer side, an increase in cars being repossessed. What does that mean? People are not able to make payments. What does that mean? They're now carrying debt. All right. People are struggling out there. Anyone that says the stock market's at all-time highs, the economy's not in a bad state, the stock market has nothing to do with the economy. All right. The stock market right now cares about 7 stocks and that's it. And that's the reality of it. All right. You tell me, is it expensive for you to go out at the moment? All right. Are you struggling to put food on the table, or at least does it feel more expensive than before to put food on the table? The answer is probably yes. It is extortionate out there. All right. America's debt crisis is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So if we get bad debt, all you need is the house of cards to start falling. All right. In 2008, it was Lehman Brothers. You only need to start seeing some cracks forming. I'm not saying that happens, but it wouldn't take too much. Exactly, Contorted. Today it only cares about one stock. I mean, it is starting to fail now, Nvidia. Back down to the 08s, all right? So it's into that pre-market level where we bid out of this morning, right? So if Nvidia fails the initial balance, we trade back down to pre-market lows, which would be 205s. If it wants to go to previous day high, it's 203s. If it wants to go to previous day close, it's 200. If it wants to go back to a reasonable level of support, it's 195 to 191. Bear that in mind. We are frothy. There's no other way to put it, all right? We are very, very frothy on every market, on every time frame, but until we see backside, we have to be careful. You did not see me today trying to short up here, all right? All this on the squeeze up, right? We waited. I can't remember where that first attempt was. Here, and then we waited, and here, all right? Backside. You must be playing the backside. If you're playing front side, you're going to add into a loser, you're going to get hurt. All right, you can see this trend line still holding right now. All right, still absorbing on this kind of level. If we let go of this pivot, all right, think about this RBS, resistance, support, support. If this lets go and we leave these buyers trapped, right, then we rotate to the next level. If we let go of this pivot, then we rotate to the next level. This will start to be an indication of backside. Do not worry. If you're adamant like you want to get a swing short position on this market, I had this discussion with a family member this week. You will have plenty of time, right? You do not need to be picking the top. You do not need to be a hero. If and when the market decides it's ready for 5%, 10%, 20% pullback, it will give you plenty of opportunity. Yeah, I mean, when we're ready, I want to get long in this for a swing. When we're ready on my long-term account. All right. Yes, please. All right. This is the Q's triple leveraged. This is short. All right. So, and this will spike on option volatility as well. So I would love to get long in this when the time's ready. And this is how I hedge my portfolio, really. My long-term portfolio. I'll take a long in this and then cover up into any move available, basically. Just get my stop in the money and let it work. These are triple leveraged, though. These are very, very aggressive. Right? It's short, triple Q, triple leveraged, so that you understand. Again, don't play it if you require margin requirements. It moves very, very fast. But that's what I'll be playing, like swing longs probably in that if and when the market becomes ready. Contorted, I made 500 today, which is my happy place. Given the volatility, I'm going to sit out the rest of the day. Thanks again for another excellent day of teaching. Absolute legend. You're welcome, buddy. Yeah, that's great work. 500 adds up, mate. It adds up very, very quickly. And it means you don't have to sit here and gamble like most of retail will on the Fed rate decision, which has probably already been priced in, but we'll see. It all depends how exuberant this market wants to get. Nice work. Tonio paying $2,200 for $2 for a liter of diesel is madness. Or 2,200 is even worse, isn't it? Paying $2 €2. Yeah, 2.2 euros. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna check Finviz again. If you're saying financials getting wrecked, let's have a little look. What's happening to Visa and JP Morgan and stuff? Yeah, I mean, PayPal's getting dunked on again. I'm getting close to cutting that position. I'm still up on it, but it's starting to pee me off. Do I just get rid of my position? I think I actually might. Have one more look at it. Yeah, I don't like what I'm seeing there. So I'm going to stop out of this in the money, but could have made money, didn't make money. We're out of PayPal. I was swing long in that, had plenty of opportunity to make money on it, but I'm out of it. I can always get back in. But if this Martinez shows weakness this week, I don't want to be in a weak asset. I want to be in something with relative strength. Okay, back inside value right now. This can be the same as earlier if it really wants to let go. Get back onto NVIDIA. If it really wants to let go, all right, this, you'll need to move outside of this to revisit here. And under here, lower if it finds acceptance. If it holds IB and holds value, we just go in rotation. But I'm fully out of this at the moment. We can always reattack it if it starts setting up. Let me just notify Discord of the swings. Where are you? see. Weakness here in NVIDIA. Weakness here in NVIDIA. All right, back to basically its open print. Back to its open print here. ES back under its initial balance. We're at initial balance. These are key levels now. Market will have to make a decision very, very soon on what next. We're right at that IB. If we start flashing this, we're going to go previous day high for a back check of this box underneath. So if we stay heavy under here, if this becomes a two-leg and a failure and we fail this low, we're coming previous day high. So any of you still in it, that's your kind of point where you want to be covering. Yeah, I'm still holding Apple, mate. I'll see how we go today. But my entry in Apple's at 202s. So I'm feeling fairly comfortable right now. A new high of day, but remember I'm long from all the way down here. I don't see it revisiting me. Right, so even if Apple shows weakness into earnings, it's not a hugely volatile stock into earnings. So maybe here, but I'm still, I'm long from here. There's no way it's coming back down here in a hurry. So I want to give it a chance to base out at these old highs and to form that next leg for that move up into January. And then I'll consider whether I want to take profit into January or not. Check that position. Yeah, I'm up 29% on it overall. I was up more on it. AMD, I'm still holding a little bit. Sold a lot yesterday, but I'm up 64% on AMD. Remember, I'm long from 158 on AMD. Up about 7% on Amazon. Just going to give that a chance to shake out. Happy to hold that long term. I'm not sized in on Amazon like I was on AMD, and I am on Apple. So willing for that to do whatever it is it needs to do on Amazon, because it's not going to make a difference to my portfolio. All right, still holding this IB. NVIDIA finding a bid on the 5-minute. I was bitching at the store the other day, paying $1.29 for a gallon of distilled water. It was 99 cents a year ago. I've officially become my father. I'm the guy that's always bitching about, like, oh, this music's terrible. That's how I know I've become my parents. Alex, I've been searching for a way to plot the volume profile on the right side of TradingView, and I finally found it. It's located in the left panel, right alongside FR. Huh? You mean here? You can do it, but it gets in the way. You can go, we did it last week. Visibility, we found it last week. Where is it? Placement. You can do placement right. The problem is, I want it over here. Do you know how to move it over here? Anchored volume profile. It's called anchored volume profile. What, as an indicator? Okay, let me have a look. Auto anchor or another one? Anchored volume profile by DGT. No, it's on the external panel, left side, all the way on the time frame. Huh? It's on the left of TradingView. As a drawing tool, you mean? Anchored volume profile. Here we go. Okay, let's try this. Thank you. Can I change? Nice. That's better, isn't it? So I just click the open each day. Is that how it does it? Is it continual? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, starting to get that two-leg breakdown here. So interested if they get acceptance underneath initial balance to PDC to PDH now. Looking good here, folks, for this move. Thank you so much. Very kind of you, Okan. That's a proper game changer. That looks so much better. Here we go, folks. So I'm in this now for that IB break, looking for PDH here. All right, here's your sweep here at 43s. We're going to see if we can get acceptance under 43s now and go for PDH. And if we get acceptance under PDH, we go for gap fill. We're trying to get into here. So we've just swept everything here. So you can partial here. We're looking to see if we can get into PDH. If we get acceptance under PDH, we're going to go next leg down. But absolutely fine to take a partial into this move. I'm short from initial balance break. Want ES to join in, which it's not at the moment, just so you're aware. My stop's already back at break even. All right, so we're just trying to see if it wants to extend. It's already offered us about 20 points there, a little bit more actually. Come on, let's see if we can push down on a new low here. Come on. Come on. So leaving buyers trapped there, no acceptance back into value. Let's see if we can get down into this. I want to get a cover into here and then see if we can get a wash down. Yes! Patience, baby. Patience, baby. Let's go. Come on, man. Come on. Pay the team. Don't be a dick for a tick here, team. It's pretty close to our TP, so make sure you've paid yourself at least a little something. And then once we get under this, right, we see if we can get acceptance into this for runners. Right, if we need to rebuild out liquidity, something like this would be nice. Here would be okay, but under here would be even stronger for that move down. We're looking good. It's looking really good. Don't be a dick for a tick. Make sure you paid yourself something. Make sure you paid yourself something, please. See if there's any liquidity on the book lower. See where these buys are. 30s and the 200s. Come on, come and get PDH for us. See if ES can join in. Nvidia looking good. I want Nvidia under its open price. It's just right at its New York open price right now. I want to see it trade underneath that to low of day. If it does that, it will be marvelous. If it does that, it will be marvelous. Come on. ES not joining in yet. Still holding its initial balance. That Nvidia New York open print is key. It's absolutely key. Reclaim. So out of this now. Can always add back in. So try to give that runner a chance. And that is Nvidia at the open print. So that is what's happening right now. It's this controlling momentum in the queues. All right, here's your open print right here. Right, and here's your 5 minute. So if they find a bid here, they can come and clear out all of this because this has been walked. This is controlled. If they find a bid here, they might come back to here before they reject. So I want to be careful. If they come under here, we have a long, long way to come to here and here and here. I'm still aware we're just in range rotation. So I'm not willing to give it as much room as I normally would in a pro trend because we are in range rotation. It can fail. It can do a failed auction underneath initial balance, reclaim and squeeze up. Okay, so I'm not going to give these room today until we start breaking down underneath previous daily levels. We're not doing that right now. Think about the daily. We're still very green on the day. Until we get underneath here, this bar will remain green. And really, we want to see breaks underneath previous day lows for real weakness, and that is a long way away right now. Seems very unlikely. Possible delta going to get caught here. Just be careful if you're still in this short. You need a breakdown here. You need follow through. Failing to see breakdown and follow through here will be dangerous. Lots of sellers just came in there in the 50s. They need to stay in the money if you're looking for a continuation here. I'm out of this now, like I said. Played that snap down. We can always get back in if it starts to fail underneath previous day high and builds out that liquidity. You need a break of structure here. You need a new low, and you need previous day high as your cover point. ES still so far absorbing initial balance, but and Nvidia still at that New York open price. If it lets go of that though and starts washing, you might get some fun here. Just be careful. That was massive selling at the lows there. Massive selling at the lows there. You can see it. Look at this big volume. Big selling in here. If we get back above here, these guys get squeezed out. Gonna get out of here soon, team. So I give myself time to watch FOMC. It's not even that I want to trade it. I just want to be able to see how the tape moves and what the comments are. I don't really care about trading FOMC ever, to be honest. Yeah, thanks so much for that, guys. In fact, let me favorite this tool. Beautiful. Yeah, super helpful, man. That's so much better, isn't it? So much better. All right, ES still absorbing, as is Nvidia. And like we said, if they want to squeeze, they're going to squeeze back upside here. Those sellers getting trapped at their lows. Same story as we have pretty much all the time. And we're still in range rotation. Remember, the rotation takes place between the red and the blue. So if they get acceptance back inside this range, we're going to visit POC. If they get acceptance above POC, we're going to go back up to value on the highs on the day. Just be cautious. We can afford to let it build out some more liquidity. Can I show my setup of anchor volume profile? It's exactly the same. Thousand row size, that's what you want to change. And then I'd have POC as red, value area is blue, and up and down is grey. Exactly the same as I have on session volume profile or fixed volume profile. I always have exactly the same. Thousand rows so I can see what's actually happening, because I don't know what it gives you normally, but you won't be able to see like where the spikes on volume are, because it does it as like, I don't know, is it like 25 or something? It does these huge blocks which are completely pointless. Okay, back to New York Open. So Nvidia not finding acceptance underneath that New York Open. We're back to New York Open and VWAP. So if we're going to go initial balance VWAP, here's TP1. If you're going to go VWAP New York, we're going to go to the 80s. That would be a TP2. For those of you who are playing initial balance rotations, I know some of you play them. Again, I'm not playing those today. Already out of this position, waiting to see what we do next. But it might be that we just go in a holding pattern now and rotate like we predicted in Discord and pre-market before Fed. Very, very probable. Oh! Yeah, I agree, Cap. That's what we're looking for the whole time. I'm glad you guys found it. Thank you so much. Makes a big difference because you can see the shelves nice and easy, and it's not coming over the charts. It's really, really way easier to see. So you can see here we've like traded into the edge of this. If we think about this node here, we've just traded into the edge of it. If we reject this, we probably come and check value. If we hold value, we come back. If we let go of value, we probably can drift a bit lower. If we get back above POC, we're going to go VWAP and then to the edge of this. And maybe we just rotate here a bit while they make their decision of what they want to do next. I have no idea because we are in rotation from here to here. And that seller's just moved down again into 87s or 90s. So that old level where he has been stacked for a while, he's added some more size. So there's about 1,000 lot there just in front of the 300s right now on NQ. Passive, sat there on the book. He can just spoof it all he wants. Biggest level traded here was the 75s. This is where they sold aggressive. 275s. This is where some aggressive selling came in. So I'm interested how we act here. Probably going to get out of here in 8 minutes. Get out a little bit early today. Give myself some rest before FOMC. Yeah, 80% sale on Apex finished already. Yeah, finished last night. It did put lots of warning signs out on YouTube and social media. It's done. No new sale now. So 50% off with FCT code. Okay, back to POC. Maybe Dean. I haven't. They haven't told me. Normally, I know ahead of time, but I haven't heard anything like that. Okay, those sellers at the lows, like we talked about. Here's the delta down here. Same signature you see in every single day. Big selling came in under here. All right, we took TP into here. This is the delta, and they're going to start to get squeezed out as we revisit point of control. If we get acceptance above this, we go back to the other side of value, back to the other side of range. If we zoom out, what are we doing? Nothing different to what we've done all day. All right, it's the same thing. Same thing over and over and over again until it proves otherwise. So don't expect too much, like I always talk about. Manage your expectations of the type of market we're in. The rejection of that so far. They can rehold New York Open. Sorry, folks, I'm having to reply to a couple of emails here. Give me a second. In 24s. I don't, Todd. People were asking for one today. Maybe I'll do it. I just use it very straightforward. It's not it's just for me. I use it as a way of seeing where aggressive participants are and if there is a fraud on the book lifting the offer and stuff. That's it. And just zoom out and we can just see aggressive selling at the lows, always a good sign that they're going to get trapped. Aggressive buying at the highs, good sign that they're going to get trapped. And this guy's just been like moving the book around all day. He's not really been interested in getting filled, this guy here. So I think he's probably a buyer just manipulating the book around at the moment. But I don't know that for sure. It's just how I'm interpreting how he's been moving. He walked it up and walked it down. Probably more of a liquidity provider than anything else. If we look over here, he might not even be present. No, half of him isn't even present. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh, apparently I've got no data on ES again. Thanks, Bookmap. You are absolutely fantastic to me the last few weeks. Okay, so that guy not getting filled. Back into that thick area, 75s, way more selling here than we're seeing buying action. Let's see if they get acceptance underneath current value for a retest of this. If they bid off that, we go acceptance higher. If this fails here, they reattempt to go previous day high. No edge in this for me because, we've had the attempts to go lower. We've made our money on it right now. If it resets up under previous day high, I'm really interested. But until that point, I want to be very cautious thinking about too much. So let's see how it operates here like we just talked about. This is key. If we're going to get follow through underneath IB, then maybe we can think about that previous day high and acceptance underneath. This is where the sellers got stuck, right? So this is what's the pivot. Think about this as the W. Think about the basics of a trend. Make it really simple for yourself. Obviously, you can't draw. Obviously, come on, TradingView. You're very mean sometimes. All right. Failure to go lower. Sellers trapped in here. Break above. Pull back in. Buyers will want to absorb this. Initial balance. Value. Sellers trapped, which become buyers. If they absorb this, there is an attempt to go up here. If they fail to absorb this, we will retest this level here, and in all likelihood, we'll come back down into this level here. But right now, Nvidia's finding a bid. We're only 30 minutes away from lunchtime. So we've made our money today. It's been nice, and I wouldn't say it's not the easiest day because we're not in a pro trend, but I think we've nailed the opportunities which have become available. I think we were well prepared for them, which is the main thing. We were looking for a failed breakout above here, and then we had to wait. I think I took this little turn inside, this pop up into here as the short. There's the cover. and then we had to wait for the backside, and then here, and then a breakdown into these. Thanks very much. And then a reattempt here, and now we're out. And we can just wait and see what it wants to do and develop. If it pukes here, it's a bit of a tricky one because it's rejecting POC for that move down into here, but your location for a short here is definitely not ideal. The better location for a short now, if it's really going to let go, is actually going to be underneath this, all right, on a retest, not a snap, but like something like that is feasible. Don't want to short in this pocket here. Very, very dangerous, all right, because even if you take the breakout short here, this is possible. All right, so that's what I'd be looking at. Is the reattempt at that low. Zoom out here. So we had selling here from 55s down to 40s. This is where the sellers got stuck. There was a 440 lot selling into 53s, and he continued to sell on that drive down into 40s. So that's where he got stuck, from 53s to 40s. So he's still stuck there. He's still not been allowed out. Big seller here. Let's call him like 700 lot seller here. This guy right here. All right. He's the guy that matters right now. If he gets left out, maybe continuation. If he gets covers break even, rotation back upside. All right, just because of how it moves. We're just building and using liquidity. Looks like they might let him out at the moment. ES back to initial balance low. We still, remember, haven't checked PDH. VIX drifting downside, though, might find a bid at PDH on VIX itself. So market's not in alignment right now. I'll give you a readout on the mag as well, because we have started to see a roll. So Tesla 0.5% down, Apple 0.5% down, Microsoft 0.82% down, Meta just under 0.5% down, Nvidia 3.81% up. Remember, that was over 5% up at one point today. Google over 1% up, Amazon 0.5% up. So starting to see some of the market pull back in a little bit. Here's the reattempt of that low. And if they wash that low, we'd probably go that previous day high. Remember, this is where originally we wanted to get into. And if we can see what happens under here if we get there. But at the moment, it's we're just in a rotational market. Now look at this seller who's moved down into 270s now. All right, so he was at 90s. He's moved down into 270s now, 458 lot. I don't think he's been legit all day, but we will see. Couldn't exit your trades on Tradeify, which eventually led to the PL account blown. What? I don't know, buddy. That sounds like a data issue to me. Did you have a stop in and it wouldn't read your stop? Sounds like a Wi-Fi or internet or data issue. I would go to, I don't know what you're managing. Are you on Tradeify online? Maybe if you're online, if there is an orders tab, you want to have a look at that orders tab and see if your orders have just been hung out there. And if that's the case, maybe you can send that to Apex or Tradeify. Okay, here you go, guys. So new low of day, potential here into previous day high. And I want to see what happens underneath that. If it's a look below and fail, like we had this morning, or if we get acceptance. Came in late. What time of the earnings day? After hours. Some are today, some are tomorrow. After hours, all right? After hours, 4 and 5 o'clock. Haven't taken a single trade today, but will be very happy if Fed Chair Powell wears a purple tie later this afternoon. I'm hoping for a red and yellow polka dot tie. That's the sign of all-time lows in one go. We go to 0 in one go. Red, if there's a red and yellow polka dot tie, that's the sign. All right, very clear. For any of you that were still in this, again, I cut it as we reclaimed, but if any of you are still in this rotation, this is your cover point. Remember, this is your cover point here into previous day high. If we get acceptance under that, you can look for PDC. You're hoping for a sombrero. And we can call him Juan Pao. Juan Pao for the day. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Angela, but definitely check your orders tab, check your connections, and hopefully you can get some relief there. But if not, if you haven't got any proof, it's going to be very hard for you to get relief. All right, previous day high being tagged here, very, very close. Nvidia's still not breaking down, by the way, folks, but we are seeing a rotation in some of the other markets. VIX's starting to find a bit of a bid. So we came right into PDH. This is the blue zone. Remember, this is high time frame demand. This is where we've been a couple times today. We can probably afford to move this down like this. All right, so we expect them to try and bid or at least cover from this point, which is why you must be taking profit into here. If we get below these levels, then we will leave all buyers above trapped, and we can think about that next rotation. So the first rotation from red to blue, the next rotation will be if we make this red, and we will rotate to the next level. That's how the market moves at the moment. Don't think beyond that. So cover points in here. These are TPs for you. I'm not in this. I'm not in it. I'm just making that perfectly clear. I'm not in this right now. Oh, I feel like I might have to sit here with you till lunch. I was hoping to get off early, but this market is moving, albeit not in a huge range, probably about 80 points of range today or something. How much outside of that? No, 90 points of range. That's all we're playing with, not a lot. Hopefully some of you have had some good trades though. I feel like we've traded it pretty well. But do not get short late in the day down here, please. Not near the cover points. I think someone is having a curious reflective breakdown at the moment. What do you mean? Caught the short at POC. Nice. Lovely work, Tonio. Yeah, it's a nice trade. It's a good trade, that. Good work, mate. Good work. PW. Oh, Pat. What's going on with Pat? I have no idea. I haven't seen anything. Is he having a bad day? Here's the flush. All right, there's your previous day high. There's your trigger. This is your cover point. All right, you should be out most of your position here. We expect this to hold. If you get continuation, be very nice down here, but we expect this level to hold and go in rotation for the day. What's happened with Pat? I hope he's all right. He just puts on a show. He's not a bad guy. What's happened to him? SPY starting to sell now as well. So potential gap fill here on the SPY. Previous day high here, looking good. All right, so you're runners only now. Runners only. You've just tagged into previous day high. We expect these levels to be absorbed. If they don't absorb and we create structure underneath this, we can think about a deeper rotation. But please pay yourself. Anyone who's taking this, he's having a meltdown. What, online? What's happened though? Why is he having a meltdown? Is it the I know that top step case was going on. Is it that? You're almost making me want to look, but I don't want to be that guy. I just hope he's all right. I don't want anything to be. I don't like seeing people have meltdown. Thanks for the advice, as always. I can't figure out why I didn't find you earlier. Cheers for the execution, God. I like that. Good play on words. You're welcome, Tonio. You're welcome, mate. I'm glad it's helping. I'm glad it's helping. All right, so you can see a bit of a bid coming in here. Again, if we look at the order flow at those lows, look at the selling at the lows at the moment. It doesn't mean it has to stop there, but if we go to the book map, look at this selling at the lows, 163 lot and 173 lot, and it has just been absorbed, right, with this big selling even here, 162 lot. If we think about under 37s or under 40s, have we seen a big flush and follow through? No, not really. We're starting to see the market move away from where these sellers are. Why? Because we're at that previous day high. We're at a potential trigger for covers. So anyone who's short is probably going to be covering here. And if they're going to keep it in range, they're going to try and bid off it. It doesn't mean we can't break below, but this is the worst location of the New York session to be selling, isn't it? If we just zoom out, just think about this. This is the worst location to be buying, which is why it was the top. This is the worst location to be selling in New York, which is why it's the bottom. Try and make it easy on yourself. Don't sell the lows, especially in the rotation market. Don't buy the highs in a rotation market. It's kind of simple when you think of it that way, but you can see this. Look at these sellers offside, the volume, the sellers, and we're moving away. So market participants selling, and we're moving away from them, at least in the short term. Doesn't mean it can't move lower. It just means those guys right now are a little bit stuck. So you guys watching 2 streams at once? If you're talking about that, you're making me want to have a look, but I don't want to. I don't like seeing people get effed over. I don't know all the ins and outs of what went on with him and Top Step, but I do know he made them a fortune, and I think all those influencers got cut out pretty hard from what I understand. Again, I've never worked with them, so I can't really comment. I mean, I can see some of my members of the community watching him. Miguel, take care, boss man. Calling it a day past another funding ticks account. Nice, dude. Nice, nice, nice. Good work. Now just build those out for 5 days and take your payment. Nice work. All right, so they're trying to retest IB here, and there's that same seller who hasn't been filled all day is walked all the way down to 60s now. $10.40. 26,295. 26,295. Oh, it's a nice entry. You're up here. Look above. Oh gosh, TradingView is so annoying sometimes. Come on, TradingView. In here. It's a nice entry. Make sure you paid yourself some. If you get acceptance into here, it's fantastic. But just as long as you paid yourself some, Awani, it's a really nice entry. Because even now, you were in here, we're risking that high. Down to these lows, it's a 4R trade. All right, and if your runner goes for you and they want to close the gap, right, you're going to get almost a 9R trade. It's really nice. Nvidia's starting to break down here, folks. It's back to that New York Open. This is the second time it's visited here. All right, this is the previous day high for us on NQ. It's the second time it's visited New York Open on Nvidia today. We might find absorption down here. So I've got it as a blue box here. I'm not bidding off it because there's no bullish structure yet, but it's a cover point. It is an absolute cover point for shorts right now if we're going to stay in the range rotation. VIX still trading downside, right? Market's a bit of a mess here. Market is a bit of a mess here. They're trying to force this snap at previous day high at the moment. You can see some aggressive selling coming in. They're desperate to force this snap. If they don't get it, they'll be in trouble. Starting to let go on Nvidia now. Underneath the New York Open. It's coming back down to low of day on Nvidia now, folks. Coming back down to the low of day on Nvidia now. Should be the IB low. If it fails that, it's a long way down. Big ifs, big ifs. But if it fails that, it is a long way down. So I'll see if we build out structure underneath here. It will perk my interest. If we start breaking down underneath this blue box and build out some structure, it will perk my interest. Yeah, ES still holding initial balance here. Nvidia into IB low. This is its low of day right now into that New York Open. I'm watching, not under the New York Open, into the New York low of day. If Nvidia snaps this, it's a long way down. You would think if you were short on Nvidia, you would be starting to cover here into low of day. Just think about that. All right, lower day taken on Nvidia. Instantly trading back inside. It's IB. So whipped out the low of day. There's the cover point for Nvidia. And there's the reaction on the market so far. So again, we expect this to be a cover point, and it's timed out pretty well with Nvidia's low of day as well. So just be smart, please. Don't be forcing yourselves at the low of days. We talk about it all the time. We are starting to build some volume here into 50s. So I'd say as long as you protect these 50s, if you're still in this short, you're probably okay. But if you start letting go of 50s and it's drifting up here in 56s, you don't want to be holding too much longer. You're going to give back too much money at that point. And we've got 10 minutes to lunch. Nvidia back to lower day. Let's see if it snaps now. I have to put this on a lower time frame so I can see it. Breaking down now, Nvidia. If we let go here, it will be fun and interesting. Because we can get really heavy really quick. Really quick if we let go. Here we go. Make sure you're paying yourself, please. I want to see if we build out liquidity now. Nvidia breaking. Here's the edge of the box. If we liquidate this, VWAP and PDC is possible. If we liquidate this, VWAP and PDC is possible. Old VWAP is at 175. PDC is down there as well. Yeah, not enough likes. You're right. Not enough likes today, unfortunately. I'm losing followers. I can see people who've done the course who are over watching PW. I don't know what you're learning. Love the guy, but anyway. People love the drama. I don't do drama. It's just not how I do it. Okay, big seller at those lows again. Same story as before. Huge selling down there. 300-400 lots. 300-400 lots at the lows, and we're starting to move away from it. and Nvidia coming back down to, or coming back up, sorry, to test its initial balance. If it reclaims this, then that IB rotation is on. So again, I wouldn't be short in lower day. I was waiting to see if we washed really hard here, like we talked about all day. If we washed really hard here and built out some structure, if we did something like this, there would have been a continuation short down to here. But we're not seeing that. We're seeing a stop below, right into the edge of the blue box, right, which is there for a reason. It's where we found bids. We've just stop hunted that and turned back inside. And this is where you expect covers to happen. So I don't think there's anything in here for the rest of the day. Well, not for the rest of the day, until we get to FOMC. The only trades which will happen now is if this has caught everyone and drifts into here, maybe a range in here, acceptance over here, maybe a range in here, acceptance below here, maybe we come and test this, fail breakout above this. I wouldn't be thinking about a breakout above that today. Not until we see what happens in FOMC. Most value in the day, most liquidity in the day is being created above us right now, and we're not getting acceptance at the moment underneath this pivot here. That can change. Everything can change. The market's moving. But that edge of volume, like we just talked about, 50s, the sellers need to protect this. We just talked about it like 2-3 minutes ago. Edge of 50s, if they protect that, it's the key. Back to previous day high. Nvidia back to low of day, not reclaiming its initial balance so far. Maybe I should stop reading the charts and helping. Maybe the way this stream like develops and gets bigger is just by shit talking people. Maybe you guys just want pure entertainment. I don't know. Too old for that shit, man. All right, 10 minutes to lunch. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm only joking, guys. If you've sat in your hands today because you don't like range rotation, I think you've done well. Like, what have you really missed out on? We've barely moved. We've done 100 points from top to bottom today. We've barely moved, but we've hit those levels. The problem is I can't draw and show the trades I take, and you will be delayed, and you will just use me as a bot to try and follow. I call out the trades I take way before I take them. Way before I take them. You guys that want that are just lazy. Again, you know, like, I got nothing to prove. I show my community my payouts all the time. Like, some people might show you the trades that they take. Question is, do they win? Do they tell you that they're taking them? Do they give you thesis beforehand? Do they tell you their cover points before they get there? Or do they just get into random trades with no thesis? No, same as always, mate. So, right here. Row size 1000. Everything else stays the same. I change POC to red always. It's just how I have it. Volume up, volume down. Outside of value is grey. Inside of value, blue. That's all I change. That's all I ever change. I think that's good then, Mike. If that's what you're waiting for, then that's good. It's worth, you know, that is good patience. You've decided, okay, I'm waiting for a pullback day to whatever level that you're looking at, probably an area of volume or whatever, where you want to think about getting long. That's good trading because you're not forcing us. Think about the guys who didn't do that, right? Even the guys who got paid today in this session, even these guys that got paid, I don't think that's a good trade. Personally. Okay, yeah, it worked out. Okay, yeah, okay, lower time frame, it worked out. You have nothing else on your side there at all for that trade. So if you chose not to take that, I don't blame you. I didn't take that. Why? Well, let's just like go to an hourly. Why would I want to take a long up here where we have not revisited this level here? There's been no pullback. I'm not longing up here. No chance. So I'm with you, buddy. I want to see what happens when we come down here. Inevitably, at some point, we will do that. It might not be for a long time, but until we build out, at least offer some pullback in structure, I don't really want to be taking longs up here. And you can see the levels that I'm interested in. Here's your rotation, the old high. We let go of this. PDC, we let go of this. Old liquidity level, old liquidity level, old liquidity levels. Gap, RBS, right? We trade structure. I don't give two thingies about what other people are doing if they're making long on those things, on those trades. They're not technical areas. They're not good areas. If they take the 20-hour course, you don't need to tell them. They will know. I know, Raf. This is the thing. I know. And I even try not to post like too much in there when I take payouts because I want you guys to be focused on what you're doing. Width 30, mine looks fatter. Yeah, I've left the width, mate. Nothing's changed. Yeah, width 30. 30%. How do I trade FOMC? I sort of don't. Most of the time I don't, unless there's something really clear and obvious. I definitely size down. Your ATR is going to be insane. If you think about what we've done in this market, this will be one of the most high-risk FOMCs you will ever witness, right? Because you've got the market all-time highs with, let's go here. On a breakout, on the breakout alone, we're up almost 4%. On the year, off the old highs, we're up almost 15%. Remember, average yearly gain is about 11%. Off the swing low of the year, we're up 55%. Where was the last valid pullback on a higher time frame? None. None since we broke out of this inverse right shoulder. No pullback since we found a bid last Thursday. Remember, big bids Thursday, Friday, gap up. Monday, gap up. Tuesday, gap up. Wednesday, gap up. And you've got earnings coming. Right? So the danger in this market is into FOMC, lots of people will be saying, and I understand it, it's priced in. We know they're going to cut. It's priced in. Well, what if they do that first? What if they pump and then dump later in the day or tomorrow? You're going to get blown out. And you get some people who will just chase the market. And what if they just dump it straight down? The volatility can be... I can't explain how volatile this market could be. Right? Normally, we'd see something like this. With the lack of structure, it would not surprise me to see stuff like this over the next 24 hours. And we've got earnings as well. It's not just FOMC. So for me, unless there's something very clear and obvious and we start developing a trend and we calm down, I probably will be more in a leave alone. I always prefer trading tomorrow, right after the reaction. Let everyone get trapped in FOMC. Let me see where the liquidity is. Let me see where the high volume is. Let me see who's stuck, and then trade once it's a bit calmer tomorrow. Remember, our job as traders to make money. FOMC lasts a few hours. It's not going to make your career. It could definitely break it, though. When prop firm says no FOMC trades, at what time can you start trading? It depends on the prop firm. So I think Take Profit Trader is 1 minute before, 1 minute after. They don't want you to open and close new trades 1 minute before, 1 minute after. So that's TPT. Apex has no rules. Fun and Ticks got rid of their rules, I'm pretty sure. So there's no rules there either. I couldn't tell you about all of the others. You'd have to have a look on their T&Qs. Can you talk about a good straight to funded prop firms? I'm not a fan of Lucid since you need to make a profit target before they pay you out. Well, you always need to make a profit target before people pay you out. Every firm will be the same, Tommy. You're going to have to make profit targets before you get paid. Tradeify is probably best straight to funded. It's a bit punchy, but that's probably the best straight to funded deal. They pay you very, very quick and simple rules. No drawdown rules. There is a consistency rule. Starts off at 20. Do they move it 25%? First payout might be 20%. Second payout 25%. Consistency 30%, 40%, and then live. Yeah, I got the email from TPT this morning and yesterday, actually. I actually would have forgotten on TPT. All right, we're starting a base here. Lunchtime's here. So look, we've done what we expected to do in this session. We expected to rotate. This is what we expected. We talked about it this morning. Look above and fail. Rotation, rotation, maybe rotation. This is all we're doing. Until you see acceptance below this to here or acceptance above this, this is your liquidity pool being built out for FOMC. If you can stay impartial and zoom out, you will see now that we have a ton of liquidity from overnight and New York all built into here, and overnight also into here. This is your pool to abuse later, all right? This is where people's stops are. FOMC will run, I would imagine, both sides of these very, very easily. This is not a big move for FOMC. Right? It will probably run both sides of these very easily. Once we start seeing weakness underneath previous day's value, we can think about what's what. I would love to see buyers trapped up here if we're really going to do a rotation tomorrow, but you know, we will see. But I think we've made our money today. It is what it is, just base hit kind of mentality day. No, it's not true, EBH. It depends on the prop firm you're trading with. I thought Funding Ticks got rid of that rule, Daily Tell. I could be wrong, but I think Funding Ticks got rid of that rule, but maybe I'm incorrect. All right, new lower day here on NVIDIA. It's just whip lower day and trading back inside again. Vic's trying to find a bid. I am out of here, folks. I'm going to go and walk my dog, get some rest, get some food. And those in Discord, we will trade together this afternoon, or at least give commentary in Discord of what I'm looking at for FOMC. I'm not going to trade between now and FOMC. I'll wait for the announcement, and then we'll see what is what. All right, team. Peace and love. Thanks for sticking with me. And we'll be back tomorrow. Those who are not in Discord, have not done the course, we'll be back tomorrow for that reaction to FOMC. Remember, most institutions will make their money tomorrow. Repeat, most institutions will make their money tomorrow. Remember, after the close tonight, you have Mag 7 earnings. The next 24 to 48 hours will probably be some of the most volatile period you will witness playing the stock market, other than mega crashes and stuff. Please, please don't go ruining your hard work. All right, don't suddenly think, oh, I need to gamble on this, I want to pass these now, or oh, I'm up really big, I'm going to... Don't do it. Do not do it. NVIDIA's starting to break down. Do not do it. Avoid that temptation, all right? Just be calm. Trade setups which are there and available, and other than that, leave it alone. and you can trade the next day and the day after. It's not going to make you, one day is not going to make you, but if you blow up all your accounts, you're going to put yourself back loads. And I guarantee you're going to see more people, or if they're honest, more people blowing up all their accounts trading FOMC than people having big winners. All right, peace and love, everyone. Trade safe. See you in Discord later, and everyone else, see you tomorrow.